Hello, middle schoolers. My name is Tim Meyer. I'm an ag econ professor at the University of Nebraska. Just a teacher like your 5th through 8th grade teachers, except I teach adults. As you can see, I have some LPS students that live in my household. So I was excited when I was asked to create an activity in a video that would help LPS students understand what we do in ag economics, or really just economics in general. So a lot of people think that economics is about making money, is about Wall Street and stocks and money. And they're not wrong, but that's not really what economists do. We're really interested in looking at the raw materials and resources that we have in a place like Nebraska and how we turn them into stuff that people want. And how do we produce things, and why do we produce it, and who do we produce it for? And we're also interested in the decisions that consumers make, like, should we go to McDonald's or should we go to Five Guys Burgers and Fries? Those are things that ag economists specifically are interested in. Now, we think of agriculture as producing corn and soybeans and raising cattle, but ag econ is about the natural resources of the environment, and it's about food, and that's what gets me excited. And one of the ways that I connect to students is talking about food, because we all need to eat and we have to produce food. So I designed an activity that had to do with food prices. But before we talk about food prices, we have to figure out, what good are prices anyway, and why is it such an important feature of economics? Well, we're answering this question of, how do we take this stuff that we have, that there's a limited amount, and economists would say finite, that's a fancy word for limited. And we've got all of these people that want stuff, and their wants are unlimited. How do we figure out who gets what? And how do we make what we have available and our wants, how do we make those equal out? And prices are what determine that. So an example that unfortunately I think you're living through at LPS is you get to wear a mask every day. Nobody really wanted to wear masks 2 years ago. And we didn't really know that COVID was a thing. So the number of people who wanted masks wasn't very high. But then all of a sudden, everybody wants masks, and there aren't enough masks available. So how do we get that to equal out? Well, this thing called the price steps in, and mask prices go up. But then all of the companies that can produce masks are like, well, hey, we want a piece of that too. So they start producing masks, and there are more masks, and the price goes down. Now, it's not much more difficult than that. The price is the mechanism that changes to make it so that what people want and what's available equal out. If more people want stuff because they have more money, that means the price of things are going to go up. If the cost of producing things goes up because supply chains and COVID restrictions and fuel prices are rising, prices go up. Sometimes prices go down. In fact, prices are moving all around us, and that's something that I think you can do on your own, is pay attention when you go grocery shopping with your parents. Do you see that the prices are changing every week? Some prices go up, some go down. When ice cream is on sale, I bet you can get your mom or dad to put it in the cart. Don't just ask. My kids ask all the time, and I tell them, ask when you know you got a shot. When ice cream is $6, I'm probably going to say no. But if it's on sale for $2.99, the ice cream sounds pretty good. So prices individually are how economic markets work. It's a big part of econ markets. But we've got this thing called inflation that I bet you've heard of. And that's when all prices are going up, not just one price. And for the first time in your lifetime, And the first time in my adult lifetime, and even a little bit longer than that, prices have really gone up, a little over 7% in the past year. So that means that if you needed $10 to buy something last year, you need about $10.70 this year. Or if you needed $100 last year, you need $107 this year. So inflation's not good, especially when we don't see it coming. If we know there's going to be some inflation, we can plan for it, and we can change the way that we sell things and work, and particularly what we buy. But if we don't see it coming, it's pretty rough. And if you were a kid who, like me, you were saving up for something cool, you're saving up for the new PlayStation or Xbox or a new bike, and the price went up while you were saving money, the money that you have isn't worth as much as it was before. So you can feel the pain of inflation as well. Now, if there's a little bit of inflation, that's not so bad. That means that people have money and they want to spend it, and that's making prices go up. But if there's a lot of inflation, 7% is a lot, from year to year to year, that's going to cause some problems. So, the activity that I have designed for you is pretty simple. You just guess some prices. I picked 1990 as a year because I thought that would be a year that your parents would know pretty well. They might have been young, they might have been a kid, they might have been in high school, but they'll know 1990. And they're items that we have today. A Big Mac was the same in 1990 as it is today. A gallon of milk was exactly the same as it is today, and so were a dozen eggs. So I've given the prices of those items today. So that gives you an idea of what things cost today. And most things have gone up in price since 1990. So if you're trying to make that total difference as small as possible, I'll give you a hint. The prices in 1990 were lower. So guess those prices and see how you do. And then when you're done, write a little paragraph about what surprised you. What prices were higher or lower than what you thought. And I'll tell you, there's some incentive to do this. My boss is a pretty good guy, and I think he's figured out a way to get some dairy store coupons or gift certificates so you can get a free ice cream cone from us to you. So if you complete the transaction, you get some ice cream. And ice cream's always good. So we hope that you consider econ as something that you'd want to study in high school and in college. And this is just kind of a little gateway to get there. So have fun, enjoy spring, and go Beatty Bobcats and Irving Aardvarks. Bye now.